2, 1. Okay, so this is going to be awesome. This is Midas versus Boxer, and I'm very excited for this matchup because Boxer, if you have not heard, has gone into the military for South Korea, which is, I think it's a mandatory military service, just like for you. They're both in the military now, and they're playing for the military StarCraft team. Oh my god, that's Boxer. I hate that hero. Looks bad. But I'm very excited. This is Boxer versus Midas. It's a Terran versus Terran. And the Korean Air Force has created a StarCraft team. On it includes several players, but mainly for you and Boxer. Now, Boxer is purple starting at the top left of geometry, and Midas is white at the bottom left. And I'm very excited for this map, though Terran vs. Terran matchups aren't too exciting. It should be great because this is Boxer, and nobody's heard from him for a very long time because he has not been able to play. Now, Boxer is going to wall in his choke, while Midas is just opting to create a supply depot down here. Now, I'm really hoping that Boxer wins. You know, I'm a fan of both players, but Boxer has just gotten back, and yeah, I know he's more famous and everything, and everybody likes him more, just because he's hecka good. But I'm thinking that he won't win because he is going to be very rusty. Usually they practice about 15 hours a day, I think. But in Air Force, whatchamacallit, I think he only gets like, I don't know, probably like a couple of hours. Maybe not even that. But anyways, this is Midas versus Boxer, and very excited to present this to you. Nothing too much going on right now. Boxer still has the right build order, so, I guess that's a given. But let's just see what happens. Midas is still not opting to create a wall, and the first factory for Boxer is coming up. The factory for Midas is still nowhere to be seen, but I think he is going to get a better economy. So this looks like the first-person view of Midas. Oh no, this is Boxer. So you can see Boxer still has some pretty fast hands, but nowhere in comparison to his old hands, which were extremely fast. There goes the factory for Midas. And Midas is a little behind in tech, but I think he has a stronger economy. I'm not quite sure how many SCVs they have. We don't have the SCV count. So it looks like Boxer has finished his wall in. Neither of them have decided to scout, but Midas is going to scout with a Marine. And the Marine should be coming up right about now. I see him in the oh, that's an SCV. So never mind. Looks like the Marine down that's being sent up will try and do some attacking on this SCV that's building the factory, or maybe the supply depot. Not quite sure, the Marine's still not here. And it looks like the factory for Midas has just been completed, while the second factory for Boxer has also just been completed. Now Boxer is now going to scout for Midas, and Midas is going to try and chase that SCV, but it is not successful. The siege mode, I think, or maybe vulture speed or vulture mines, is already being researched for Boxer. And Boxer is, Terran versus Terran matchups are very slow, very boring, usually very bad, but not fun to watch. But here comes the vulture. Boxer also has a vulture, but he does not have Marines. Okay, he's microing it very carefully, killing off these Marines. It looks like one vulture is going down. The SCV is tagging this vulture. Okay, so Boxer is deciding to micro it using the patrol button to hit while he's moving. And the scouting SCV was also killed. So excellent micro by both players, but mainly Boxer, showing that he still has some of the StarCraft stuff in him. He's creating some barracks. Midas is creating barracks so that he can wall in this area so that the vultures cannot come in and harass his units. This is Midas' first person. He barely created it because vultures do like 0 damage to buildings. I think it's like 5, 10? They do mainly only good damage to small units. And to buildings or large units, they do almost nothing. So Boxer is just gonna start laying mines everywhere, trying to contain Midas. While Midas is getting a starport, and an academy, so he will get a scanner. And this tank is over here trying to fend off any enemies that are coming around. Now the starport will be used for either dropships or wraiths, and I think it'll be wraiths because dropships would not be very useful in this part of the game, unless he was going to do something like a Goliath drop, but there's no armor yet. Now, looks like the army is going up for Boxer. Boxer is opting to get a Goliath, possibly, or maybe he's just getting it to upgrade, but I'm not quite sure. I will have to pause this very shortly because this part of the VOD ends here and it starts on a second part, but no worries. And it looks like tanks are being sieged, and yeah. Looks like Boxer is going to start expanding very shortly. A Wraith has come out and is going to start chasing away these units. These units cannot fire against air, so it's very good by Midas, and I will have to pause this right here.